Folks around town are doing their spring cleaning both inside and outside of their home. The Centerville Public Works Department has several opportunities for you and lots of services to help you get that big job done. And here to tell us more, we have Jamie Feilen and Doug Spitler, both from the Centerville Public Works Department. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
And when we talk about spring cleaning, whew, it's a big job, it's a lot to do, but we really do offer lots of ways to help folks kind of get things done. And what I want to start with is something that we've been offering for several years, and that's called Operation Clean Sweep. So tell us about that.
That is a one time per year operation where folks can do their spring cleaning, like you said, sit out a multitude of things at the curb. We accept most items. We don't accept any hazardous waste items. And basically what we ask residents to do is by 7 a.m. on your regular trash day, set out all your items. Even if they want to the night before, folks need to understand that the items may not all be picked up at one time. There's multiple trucks that come through picking up different items. So if their regular trash comes at 3 o'clock, this may get picked up earlier because we're picking up different items with different trucks. It takes all of our refuse department.
It's a huge operation.
It's a huge operation. All of our street department employees work with our refuse department employees. So we run all of our trucks. We run all of our refuse trucks, our street trucks, chipper truck, large capacity trucks. So we run multiple different trucks. It's not just if folks are accustomed to a time when their refuse is typically picked up. That's not the case during Clean Sweep. We want residents to get that refuse out the night before, but definitely by 7 a.m.
And really, even if it's a day before, because there are a lot of folks who know that this goes on, and so someone may want to go through and pick up, if you've got a TV or a couch or something out there, somebody might pick it up before you all even get to it.
That's right.
And Jamie, this happens this year, May 4th through the 7th on your regular waste collection day, right?
That's right.
Okay. And it's for Centerville waste collection customers only. We should make sure that people do that.
Exactly.
So what kinds of things are people putting out?
Well, most anything. Doug mentioned you cannot put out any hazardous waste, which includes paint. There are a few.
If you have a mattress, it should be bagged,
There's a few parameters that we insist on, and mattresses do need to be wrapped in plastic. If you don't have the means to do that, you can come to the Public Works Department, and we do have mattress bags for $3 a piece that we can give to you or sell to you. Also, if you have carpeting, it needs to be rolled, and the roll should not stand more than 4 feet tall. A few of the other parameters, any wood, we try to keep it to 4 feet length, and no nails or metal protruding.
And obviously that's for the safety of the guys picking things up, right?
It's for the safety of the guys and also the capacity of our equipment. We're using equipment. We don't have an unlimited truck size, so we have to keep the materials to a certain size so they can get it in the back of a refuse truck or a trailer or whatever we're using. So it's limited to safety employees and also the equipment that we use.
And it's also for residential customers only. This is not for construction or lots of stuff like that.
Right.
Right. It's intended for a big house cleanup. But we accept appliances and large furniture, and we can handle just about anything.
And a good place to go for more information would be our website, which is centervilleohio.gov, or you can always check out the latest issue of the Town Crier because there's a list too. But when we were talking about hazardous materials, if you do collect that from your garage, you can always take that down to Montgomery County Transfer Station, right? Or solid waste?
They don't accept some hazardous materials, explosives, other types of materials that are more hazardous. Most people don't have that type of stuff, but occasionally we'll get a call on that, but they would need to dispose of that in a different manner. Montgomery County will accept a lot of things we don't, but they even don't accept a lot of the hazardous. They will take things like your car batteries and stuff, which are more common and seem to be more hazardous that we won't collect. But you get into the heavier metals and stuff that's kind of uncommon, they do not accept those as well.
So I guess if you have questions, the best thing to do is to call Jamie, right, Jamie?
Right. I have a complete list.
So she can go over that, and that number is 428-4782.
Right.
Right, and we're going to talk to you too about some of the kind of the regular questions. A lot of folks have questions about cleanup today. In fact, we had a nice little storm. A lot of limbs are down. People are doing cleanup. So if they wanted to get rid of their limbs, how can they go about doing that?
There's several options for that type of brush. We have a free brush drop-off at the Public Works facility every Wednesday from 8 to 4. There are parameters for that drop-off, nothing longer than 8 feet in length and nothing more than 10 inches in diameter for a trunk or a large branch, but as much as you can get over there. We also do bulk pickups, curbside pickups for brush, and that is $35. You could call me and schedule that. The parameters are the same for that. Now you can also put brush out for clean sweep week, but the parameters are different. Only 4 feet lengths, and we do need it bundled. These guys are going to be lifting it manually from the curb. There's no large claw truck to come in and pick that up. So if you're going to do it that way, it is free, but it does have to be bundled. That's very important.
Okay, so if you're doing it as part of Clean Sweep Week, which again is May 4th through 7th, it needs to be bundled.
Right.
Yeah.
If you wanted to drop it off, that's on every Wednesday.
And every third Saturday of the month.
Saturday. And
right.
you do need to have your driver's license for that,
You
right?
do.
Show that
Show
you
proof
are a
of
resident.
residency,
Right,
yes.
Okay.
exactly.
And the items for that are typically what we would call a woody type brush. We don't accept any bulk leaves that customers are picking up. We don't accept any kind of ornamental grasses. It all has to do, again, with our equipment. We just can't process that type of equipment through our chipper. But we do take any kind of a woody type debris, and folks bring that in trailers or trucks on their own time, and so that doesn't have the as strict of limitations as it does during Clean Sweep
Right.
Week.
And if you just don't have the means to get it to Public Works and you want to call for a special pickup, you schedule that through you, right, Jamie?
That's right. But with like the ornamental grasses, I'm part of just spring cleaning your yard. A lot of ornamental grasses are in Centerville, and it is hard to get rid of, but the way to do that is once you chop it down is either you can bundle it and schedule a bulk pickup. You can also bundle that, and that can go into Clean Sweep. We will pick that up for free then. Or you can put it into your trash can. You can put yard waste into your trash can,
Okay.
the Centerville issued can.
And so as we are doing spring cleaning, because yay, we're so glad spring is finally here, tell us some of the common questions that you get asked.
Okay, well, a lot of it is the brush
Yeah.
and the ornamental grasses. Grass clippings, if you can put that into your trash can, we encourage mulching heavily, and
That just kind of let the grass
yes,
stay in
it's
your
good
yard.
for the lawn.
Yeah.
We don't need to fill the landfills up with that. But if you insist on doing that, you've got to be careful because grass, when you cut it, it's wet and it's super heavy, and we've had many times where our trucks cannot lift the can because it's so heavy with wet grass in it. So if you're going to, we encourage mulching if you possibly can, and if you are going to cut it, just make sure that you're not putting too much in the can where we can't lift the can. It will allow about 350 pounds, I think, is the most that we can lift. It says it right on the can.
And sometimes, on occasion, you'll tag someone's waste or something. Why do you do that?
Well, for several reasons. If we can't lift it, I mean,
Okay.
there is a weight.
There's always a good
limit.
reason for why it
Right.
happens, yeah.
We also tag if there's trash outside of the container. We can only pick up what's in the container. We tag if some of our trucks, they have a big claw that comes out, and it goes out wide to grab the container to put it into the truck. So we need 3 feet clearance around the container.
We recommend that folks separate as easy as putting their recyclables on one side of their driveway and their cans on the other side of the driveways. And for the most part, a lot of folks do that.
Yeah.
But it's like Jamie was saying, when they get too close, the operation of that truck can't physically grab the can. And we do use an automated truck for our refuse. We still use a manual throw system on our recycles. So it has to do with the limitations, again, of our equipment.
And we have to say, we don't have a show and tell item, but everybody in Centerville knows those bright orange stickers that say recyclable, and that is what you should be putting on your container.
Correct.
Right.
And you can have unlimited amount of recyclables, right?
That's right. You can have as many containers as you like, as long as they're 32 gallons or less, because they are manually dumped into the truck.
And we've got to give a shout out to our folks who work waste collection, because they do that every
Every day.
single day, and I don't
Right.
think it's very rare that we cancel on a day
Very rare.
because of
Right.
weather or
Correct.
something.
Yes.
Extreme weather conditions, they're still out there
Yeah.
on the back of those trucks.
And it ain't a pretty sight many
Right.
times. So.
No, it's cold, it's wet, it's just like the mail.
Yeah.
We're gonna pick up the refuse if they set it out. So it's certainly to be commended. They work in all types of weather.
And just as a reminder, as we were saying, during bulk item pickup week only, just because perhaps some of your items are left, that doesn't mean that they're not taking them. It means that another truck is going to come by and get them at a later time, probably that day, though.
That's correct, yes.
Everything will happen that day.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
We're going to run a Tuesday route. If your regular trash day is Tuesday, we're going to run all of Tuesday, but it may be different times and different trucks.
Okay. And if people have questions, the best thing, website and to call you, Jamie?
Right. I welcome all calls. So
We know you get a lot of them. I mean,
yeah, and it gets confusing, and
Yeah.
I mean, and it's, you may have heard the answer last year, but you forgot what the answer is to certain things, and I'm happy to explain it again.
For especially during Operation Clean Sweep and bulk item pickup, what are some issues that you all typically deal with that maybe folks we can kind of head off at the pass for a?
I think the main issue is that people think that the clean sweep has the exact same rules as a normal paid $35 bulk pickup. So really the only big difference is the brush and the parameters, and we cannot pick up bulk brush on that day. So that's probably the biggest problem that we run into, and also hazardous waste, which I want to say includes tires too.
So we can't take tires.
Right, right. And so, you know what, basically if there's anything left in front of your house, it's probably a hazardous waste at the end of the day, because it's rare that we miss anything. So if we leave it there, it's because it's something we can't take.
So when in doubt, you can give a call to Jamie, 428-4782, and you can walk people through that. And again, I think a good reminder is if you can't find those bags for mattresses, you can stop by the Public Works Center,
Yep.
7970 South Suburban Drive. If you've not stopped by to see it, that's
Right.
it's a beautiful facility.
It
It
is.
really is. We'll be welcoming some neighbors there on May 4th for our neighborhood
That's right.
meeting, so folks will have a chance to get in. Any other common knowledge or questions that you might get that folks would benefit from today?
I think we've hit most of it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And Public Works, even though the waste collection is Monday through Thursday,
That's right.
the office is open Monday through Friday.
That's correct.
That's right.
So you can stop by 8 to 4:30?
Yes.
Right.
And pick up bags or answer or have any questions answered. And again, I would suggest that you go to the town crier if you have questions, or the website, centervilleohio.gov, or you can give Jamie a call and she will walk you through all the steps. But I know that there are, I forget what the tonnage is, but it's a huge amount that gets put out.
Yeah, we average about 400 tons during that week.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And as you said, Doug, it's all hands on deck. Everybody's working
It's
on that,
hands-on.
right?
Yes, absolutely. Everybody in our department works on that.
It's a big project. And what's really awesome is that it is free.
It is.
Right.
It's a
It's
nice
a great
free service.
service.
So if you're thinking about getting your spring cleaning done, make sure you get it done before May 4th, or at least of that week, whatever your regular waste collection day is. You want everything out at the curb by 7 a.m. because the trucks will be starting to come by and they'll pick things up. But if you miss it and need to do a special pickup, those services are available as well.
All year round.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for the information. You can always call 428-4782. Talk with Jamie about any other questions you might have. Stay with us. We'll be back with Mary Lou Pence, and Doug will tell us more about some construction projects. Welcome back to Let's Talk Centerville. I'm Maureen Russell Hodson, and joining Doug Spitler, Public Works Director, and me is Mary Lou Pence, who is the Operations Manager for the Public Works Department. Hi, Mary Lou.
Hello.
So now we're going to talk construction because it is construction season. So orange barrels all over the community, and we have quite a few if you've driven around town, you see. So we're going to try to hit on as many as we can, but for more information, you can always call 428-4782, our Public Works Department, or you can visit our website, which is centervilleohio.gov, and even Facebook, because we try to keep all of these projects as up to date as we can when folks have questions, right?
We do.
So here we go. Let's hit it. Here's a little project here, Feedwire Road.
Feedwire Road. Sure, people are familiar with that with the opening of Costco.
Yeah.
Feedwire Road is a project that basically goes from Wilmington Pike almost to the 675 overpass. It started last year. We had some bad soil. We had some pretty quick cold weather, so it shut down the project for the winter. They've resumed work on that project. They have some concrete median to finish. Of course, with the weather, it's still weather dependent, so now
Now,
we're
people
battling.
have to understand it's weather dependent,
It
right?
absolutely
That's
is.
something- yeah.
Yes. We didn't get asphalt down last year because we have a certain temperature requirement on asphalt, so that really hampered us. And then when the ground starts freezing, that's an additional hamper. Now we're into warmer weather. Now we have all the wet weather. So we're trying to battle getting the pavements dried out enough so we can go ahead and pave it. We have a little concrete work to do. And that project should be finished up, I'm hoping, in 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, wow, that's terrific. And then right along the same way, Wilmington Pike.
Wilmington Pike, again, that project started a little bit later last year, but it started and they got a lot of the underground storm sewer work done. That's a project that runs essentially from the Cracker Barrel entrance, all on the east side of Wilmington Pike, up to what's now called Dilly Drive. That's the new traffic signal on Wilmington Pike at the entrance to Costco. That's called Dilly Drive. The project is basically resumed again. They're starting north of Feedwire Road, doing roadway excavation, which is digging out to put in the base material, the stone and the asphalt and the stabilization that goes in there. They're working on that now, and again, once the weather hits with the rain, it kind of hampers the work. So it progresses in the spring slowly because of the wetness. There's some stabilization that has to be done with the soils when you get down that deep. So people don't see necessarily a lot of work, but there is work going on.
And as always, we ask for patience and
Absolutely.
understanding from all of the motoring public, because we know you're frustrated. We get frustrated driving through there as well, but they really are, these are improvements that are going to make driving so much easier through that area.
It is, and folks have to look at long-term
Yeah.
benefit. And it's hard to do when you're late for appointments and you're late from work, you've had a bad day, you come up on backed up traffic. It's hard to do. We sit in it as well. We don't try to do it on purpose, but it's natural that we have to do the construction for the improvements that are happening. So fortunately, it is good season for us to start construction again, but those orange barrels do come out, and we do have to have a lot of patience from the motorists. It does mess with their driving that they're not used to, so we ask for a bunch of patience.
Patience, plan accordingly, take a deep breath, keep your eyes on the road, and just maneuver the best you can throughout that.
That's
Okay,
right.
let's talk about now Wilmington, Pike, and 675.
675, that's a project that hasn't started yet that will add a little bit of construction traffic and backup to it. It's right at 675. It will be a widening project underneath the existing bridge piers, and a lot of folks ask, well, how can you do that? Some of the lanes will get shifted a little bit, the median will go out. There's a plan to get widened turn lanes to add storage lengths so that folks are going onto or off of 675, both north or south. They'll have longer storage lanes to make their left turns onto the interstate. And then we're also adding a third southbound lane from the off-ramp of 675 that will go all the way down to where it's widened in front of Miami Valley Hospital. That's an ODOT administered project. It's for the city of Centerville, but we got grant funding to do that. And because of the limitations within the location of the interchange, ODOT has to do that project for us. They'll be bidding that project in May. We would anticipate construction starting no sooner than June, but it will continue through most of the year. So there will be an additional project that may kind of blend in with the Wilmington Pike project that we'll be finishing up sometime in about mid-year. Those may blend together and folks may see a continuing project, but in fact they're actually two projects that's occurring simultaneously.
And sometimes I think people get confused because you're driving through Centerville and you think it's a Centerville project. Not necessarily. I mean, they might be working in conjunction with Centerville, but for instance, this veteran project that's
Getting ready to start.
really
Yep,
soon, right?
Like this week.
Okay.
They've been up there for 6 weeks doing utility work to locate utilities. The project itself is a veteran $1 million+ project to replace old bare steel and cast iron gas mains that are well over 60, 70 years old with new mains. This is a safety project as much as anything to get rid of pipes that leak, because it's not good to have a leaking gas main. So the limits of the current project are Franklin Street from Normandy Lane all the way over east
It's going to
of
affect a lot of drivers.
Cemetery
Again.
Drive. Yes, it will. They will be up and down Franklin Street and a couple blocks each way on many of those side streets and in the alleys. There are 154 structures that will get new gas services, so they'll make contact with each and every one of them to build a new gas service and a new meter setting. Some of them will go from a front yard main to a rear yard main service. So they have extensive work. and that again is Vectren. We've got a link on our website.
Okay.
Vectren's website has some more information on that project, but they're projecting a 3 to 4 month time frame once they get going.
So that'll take us pretty much all the way through the summer.
Yes, it will.
And it's getting very close to kicking off in the next week or so, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so again, go to the website if you've got questions about that. But one project that I think we've talked about forever and ever, and now it's almost completed, is the Woodburn Library Access Road.
It is, yes. If folks have driven by there, the new McDonald's is on
And
Fireside
we have a picture
Drive.
of it too, so hopefully we'll show that as you're talking about it. But
The new McDonald's is on
Yeah.
Fireside Drive, and if folks have come up to North Village Drive, this is looking north on Fireside Drive, and where that tree line is to the west of that dumpster is going to be a new single-lane exit from Woodburn Library. For many, many years, folks have had a difficult time exiting Woodburn Library, taking a left to try to go south back into town across 5 lanes of traffic that we all know is very congested, not just during peak times, but all times during the day. What folks will be able to do is they'll be able to exit out the drive that's constructed, take a right on North Village Drive, and then be able to take a left with the traffic signal that exists at North Village Drive. So this is a much anticipated project. It's a joint project between the library, the city, and in Washington Township as well. Project is almost complete. There's some restoration work to be done, and then we're going to have a grand opening in May with ribbon cutting
Yeah,
from
it's gonna be
all the city
exciting.
officials. It's going to be exciting because it's a long community-wide project.
yeah, and it really will make parents of new drivers like me feel much more comfortable about kids going to the library, because that was really scary. I'd always make kids go around and
Right.
circle back. So
I was up there yesterday. I saw a pedestrian actually using the sidewalk already, and I thought, that's great, so folks can
great.
walk there as well. We have a small sidewalk connection that connects into the neighborhood, and I know a lot of folks there. The apartment complexes are close, and there's the whole neighborhood to the east there that will be able to walk there if they choose. So it's got a nice sidewalk that's separated from the access drive, but it's a great project. We're happy to get it done.
good. And I know you did a lot of advising work on that.
We did,
Doug,
yes.
So
Yeah.
good for you, and thank you. We also have some pictures that, as we've been showing, of the street program, but this is something that happens pretty much throughout the spring, right?
It is. I think some of the folks that you're going to see here in the pictures are doing some pothole patching early on.
Yeah.
This
Ooh,
time
we
of
got
year,
hit hard by the potholes this year, didn't
we did. We certainly did.
Yeah.
So they're out patching potholes now. This week they're on to mulch and some of our landscaped medians. Then we're gearing up for our clean sweep week, and then we plant flowers. Then we're into mowing, and then we're into our catch basin crew. So it's
nonstop.
every week.
It really is.
It's just like your
Yeah.
handyman at home. It's what Public Works. We do all those types of handyman chores around the city. So they're busy throughout the year. They go from one season to the next, and there's always something in the next season.
And if you come across a pothole, you should call. That's really on a street, right? Not if you're in a parking lot somewhere. That's
correct.
the business owner's responsibility.
Right. Public streets or public alleys. There's a few in the downtown area, but they would call our 4782 number, or we also have a website, an email address that they can get on the website to give us information.
Okay.
Pothole report on the website.
Yeah.
Pothole report, and hopefully most of those will be patched by now, because it seems like the weather is, I hope, staying as warm as it has been. But when we talk about the street program, certain streets are identified every year to be repaired, and Centerville really has kept up with street repair, right? I mean, I know a lot of communities are having a hard time doing that, but that's a feather in our cap, and for you all that we're able to maintain that.
That's one thing that our administration and our council has
Yeah.
supported, is a strong street program. We really have not cut back on our street repairs. It just takes more money to do it, so the dollars don't go as far, and we're looking for ways to do that. But in addition just to street repairs, when a lot of folks hear street repairs, they just think of the asphalt or the concrete that's repaired. We also repair curbs without assessments. We repair sidewalks. We repair the catch basins where the stormwater or snow melt goes. And that adds a lot of cost to it that a lot of folks don't see. So it's a very comprehensive program. It's been very well funded, and it continues to be. So we're just getting ready to kick that program off. We have a lot of projects going, so we're looking forward to it.
And you can get a list of those, I think, in the town crier of different streets, but you all notify residents.
On the streets where we're working.
And is that going to take most of the summer, or?
The program on Southbury Drive, which is over east of St. Leonard's, has started, and that one has a July 31st
Right.
completion date. And then the asphalt paving program will start in about 3 weeks, probably, and it has a July 30th completion date.
All right.
And that's the neighborhood streets that we'll pave.
Okay. And as we said, we've never been behind, so this is something I think that Centerville residents should be feeling good about.
Very proud of.
We've stayed on track and streets are scheduled. I don't know how many years out you all work, but I know you keep a close eye on street repair.
We rate our streets, so we try to have an objective system instead of a subjective system, so that we're looking at our streets and we know what streets are coming up. And we have a priority list, and we don't always necessarily go 1 through
Right.
The bottom number, but we try to put streets that make the most sense to do together. So
Okay.
it's very comprehensive. It's looked at every year. We rate our streets every couple of years, so a street doesn't kind of fall off of our radar. We know it's coming up.
Oh, that's good. Martha, Lakeview, Cherry, we were talking before about curb cuts and maybe some markings. What's happening there?
Those are Montgomery County water main replacement projects in the older part of Centerville, where they've had a long history of main breaks.
And if you live there, you know that, or if you've driven by there, you've seen that, yeah.
You got it. The county contractor started last week on Martha, and it's essentially replacing the old aged water main with a brand new main, and everybody's service will be tied to that. It's the first couple blocks off of South Main Street on Martha, and then they will move over north of Franklin to Cherry Drive, and that limits are from Point Sienna down to Lakeview
Okay.
through roughly July, and then they'll move to Lakeview from Maple to Pleasant Hill, and that'll run through the bulk of July, August. With the water main work, they'll do some curb and storm structure repair work, concrete related items through the fall. And then, again, this is a joint project with the county taking the lead, and will come next spring and mill and resurface asphalt. So they'll get all new pavement. For the short term, though, you will be driving over a trench.
Okay. And Mary Lou, I know something near and dear to your heart. Call before you dig, right?
Call before
this
you
is something
dig.
that's real important before you start any of your spring projects, right?
OUPS, Ohio Utility Protection Service, is a free service. You call the 811 is the phone number. And
That's all you have to dial is 811.
811.
Okay.
They will walk you through a series of questions about your project. What are you doing? Where is it happening? When are you going to start? What kind of equipment are you going to use? And if it's as simple as putting a new playground in your backyard or planting a tree, you need to
Fence
call
post, anything.
fence post or a biggie. You need to call OUPS is the clearinghouse. They will notify all the utility companies, and those utility companies will send their rep out to locate the utilities and show you where not to dig, so you won't damage a utility.
It's such a huge safety
It is
hazard
a huge
if you end
safety.
up doing that, right?
Right. This, you can hit a gas line and not just cause a leak, you could cause something far worse.
Yeah, yeah.
You hit an electric line, you're going to electrocute somebody potentially. You hit a water main, you get water spraying all over the place.
So
It's
it's 811
811
or oups.org.
org. You can
Okay.
go to the website oups.org.
Okay.
But 811, they'll walk you through the whole series of everything they need to help you out.
So you need to take those extra minute or two to make sure that you call to get that information so that everybody stays safe.
And you do need to call a couple days. You got to give them 48 hours.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. For more information, you can visit our website, centervilleohio.gov, or call 428-4782. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.